right away. I thought we would be waiting until Raw on Monday night, but some extremely breaking news happened about 24 hours ago in Dublin, Ireland, of all places. There was a live event, and there was a no-holds-barred match between the WWE World Heavyweight Champion Seth Rollins and Kane. And Kane went for a superplex, and Rollins went to go for a sunset powerbomb out of the corner, and he kind of just landed on his leg, and he basically could not really finish the match. They kind of went to like a quick finish, and he kind of had to be helped to the back. And I thought nothing of it because this stuff happens all the time. But I get online today, and Ashley messages me out of the blue and says, "Hey, are we doing anything on Seth Rollins?" And I'm like, "What's going on with Rollins?" So immediately, I'm sitting at Steak and Shake, and I get on Facebook, and I was like, "Okay, yes, we are doing something on Seth Rollins." And that brings another Popcast. So, yeah, we're going to talk about what the ramifications of Seth Rollins' injury are going to be throughout the WWE. It sounds like they're in panic mode right now because they're going to have to rewrite a lot of television leading up to WrestleMania at this point, because Rollins at this moment is supposed to miss at least 6 to 9 months.
Yeah, and from what I've heard, if he, that's optimistic 6 to 9. It's more like,
Right.
9 to 9.
Right. And it also means that he's definitely going to miss WrestleMania, and there is a possibility he won't be ready until SummerSlam, if not past that.
Yeah, depending how good the rehab is. Yeah.
And he gets Cena's doctor to hook it up like everybody talks about all the time. But that means it's time for another edition of the Popcast, and we're going to be talking about Seth Rollins, and use the hashtag #GetWellSeth, of course. I am not alone, of course. Joining me is my good friend and my fellow Popcaster from across the pond, Ashley. Welcome, Ashley, a couple days early this time around.
Yeah, but it's something that major. Trust me, this time I won't fall asleep.
No, I just got out of dancing It's On because I'm a glutton for punishment. So, needless to say, I won't fall asleep either.
God, I can't wait to hear about that tomorrow.
Trust me, you will. It's going to be a blast. AJ pretty much ran out of paper. He was taking so many notes. Also joining us, as always, is another cornerstone of Pop, and that is Mr. Entertainment. Welcome, Aaron.
Thanks for having me. It was good seeing you again on your fun vacation.
You know it. We'll talk about that soon, don't worry.
Stop rubbing it in.
We'll talk about that soon enough, don't worry.
Oh, yeah, definitely. But, thanks for having me again. This is, like Ashley said, it's major, and, it really is a big deal. The internet basically exploded about Seth Rollins. He was #2 trending what I saw hours ago. So.
Yeah, the #1 was, oh, wait, Bindi Irwin. Apparently your father isn't dead. What?
When I had checked, it was National Donut Day. I'm like, what's with all these national days? National Candy Sandwich Day. I can't cheat my diet anymore.
What if it was National Day Day?
Oh, God.
Could be next.
National Day Day.
National Day Day. And then it just becomes National Day section.
Oh, my God. At least you didn't have to watch Dancing It's On.
Oh, trust me. I think I've got a contender for worst film of the year.
Yeah, Dancing It's On.
No. I don't think it's even going to be released where you are. But, oh, dear. Well, I'll talk about that off air. Let's get to Rollins.
So, yeah, like I said before, I watched the video footage that was shot on someone's iPhone or someone. It was shot on a camera.
The still image that I've seen is the worst because it's sort of.
It like reminds me of Sid.
Like, yeah, it's the still image where it's like that isn't supposed to look that way.
No, it's not.
It's very interesting you say Sid, Owen, because if he was listening to this podcast, he'd probably want to powerbomb you.
He could take a number.
Well, it wasn't truly a Sid, because obviously Sid was an actual bone fracture,
Right.
That was
bone split. This is just muscles. This is sort of similar to a Kevin Nash or a Triple H or a Vince McMahon quad
Right on.
thing. It's not as graphic as a Sid. It's not as
No.
graphic as Anderson Silva.
No, but it still looks sick to see when you actually see the actual image of him
Yeah,
landing
certainly.
on his leg.
Certainly, it's
pretty
not
bad.
it's not family viewing.
No.
PG foot.
And this is horrible,
good thing-
horrible timing too.
Oh yeah, not to mention that, and good thing it was, it wasn't good at all for it to happen, but good thing it wasn't on television because maybe karma much. This is what you get for breaking Cena's nose. Just kidding.
Oh,
But
God.
good thing it wasn't on TV though,
Let's be honest.
because it would end up on SportsCenter if it was.
It's Jonathan Coachman getting a scoop. Damn it.
I saw that. Yeah.
If anything, it's karma to It's actually karma to the WWE.
Right.
I was about to say
Because
that.
with the schedule that the wrestlers have,
Yeah.
you never really get the chance to take breaks,
Nope.
and the likelihood of injuries get more and more the more and more you're active. And if you're champion, well, that goes up even more, because realistically, you have to kayfabe defend the title on a house show every night.
True.
Probably. Just to appease all the fans and whatever. So...
And this year has been by far the worst for injuries. It's just been a weird year in professional wrestling in general. I mean, just with the deaths and the untimely injuries. And...
Well, no, actually, look at the last 2 weeks. Cena's out, probably healing injuries. They're saying, he's filming a TV series.
Yeah.
I think he's resting up because he wants to be in top form for WrestleMania 32.
Right.
Rusev is injured.
Yeah.
Lana was injured, which ruined that storyline and everything. Orton's injured. Rollins is injured. Lesnar's out the scene. Bray Wyatt's in a feud with The Undertaker. So realistically, there isn't anybody to challenge Reigns. So I don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, exactly.
WWE have said that they're doing a tournament, but there's now rumors that might not even be happening because of they don't want to ruin everything that they've already got planned. Because the thing is, you'd have to say, if you're going to be having a tournament, you'd have to say Bray Wyatt would be a contender for that tournament.
Of course.
The problem is, what does that do with the Kane Undertaker thing?
Yeah, it's terrible timing in every way right now, and it's always bad for an injury to happen to anyone. And this would be the worst possible time for this could happen, too, because WWE is kind of operating on fumes at this point.
It really is. I mean, and what also dawned on me right away, actually, when this news first broke, is that, oh my God, the ratings are this week, Owen, it was a good show. Yeah, actually, for once, when you were gone, it was a great show. And the rating.
Wow.
Nice. Who knew? But yeah,
I saw parts of it.
Yeah, no, it was really solid. I liked it better than last week for some reason. Even though last week, you guys claimed it was a great show, and I said otherwise. But this week, the ratings didn't get any better. They're now at an 18-year low, and with Seth Rollins, there's no Monday Night Rollins. So it's just it's very bad timing, and especially what you were saying just a minute ago, that it's not good for any wrestler to get injured.
No.
I had a Facebook friend tag me in the picture of the notification from WWE on their phone, and He said, should I be happy or excited about this? I'm like, okay, why are some fans actually thrilled that Seth Rollins got hurt? Yay, Seth Rollins finally got hurt. We don't have to hear his annoying mouth anymore. That annoying mouth is one of the best mic workers in WWE, and he was one of the best WWE World Heavyweight Champions of the past decade.
I think the thing is, the people that have that opinion think that Rollins is the problem with the product.
Right.
Exactly. When
it clearly isn't.
Yeah.
It's clearly creative, not coming up with an imaginative stuff. In actual fact, let's say this is career threatening, because it could be.
Yeah.
Because injuries like this, can possibly never heal perfectly. If that's the case, you've had the most underrated, unlike The Miz, who's probably one of the most overrated. In Rollins, you've got one of the most underrated talents that's ever been World Heavyweight Champion in that company.
Yeah.
Right.
Because he never had the chance to shine.
No.
Because the matches, everybody remembers. They don't remember Backlash. They remember WrestleMania for anything but Seth Rollins cashing in.
Yeah.
They don't remember the next 3 pay-per-views between Extreme Rules and SummerSlam because of Kevin Owens versus John Cena.
Uh-huh.
And how good that triumvirate was. SummerSlam, he wasn't even main event, even though that was a great match with Cena, because, Brock smash, Taker kick you in the balls. Night of Champions got overshadowed by everyone going, wow, Sting is actually still good in the ring. And Hell in a Cell, again, not main event, because of Taker and Brock.
And that's why I was going to agree with you earlier after I made the joke about it being karma for Rollins after breaking John Cena's nose. This is karma for the creative team of how poorly booked he was as World Heavyweight Champion. How can you book your World Heavyweight Champion, the face of your company, this way?
But here's the deal, though, Ashley. It comes down to the same thing that happened with the other Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Champions that became WWE World Champion. With CM Punk and with Daniel Bryan. They both did not main event. They were the second hour. Rollins main evented, but it was a selective time.
True. Bryan had more moments at the top than the other two, certainly.
Agreed. 100%.
Punk, I'd say, that first, the fact that he was well, I guess technically still is, because they aren't going to be able to reset that for a while.
No.
Longest reigning champ. You can take it away from AJ, but it'll be hard to take it away from Punk. So they shot their own foot there. I can see, because most people only remember when he got that title from Money in the Bank 2011.
Right.
Because then when you had the downfall of the whole Kevin Nash thing, and that not even being able to happen, because it then became Triple H, and then Nash was suddenly fit, but actually just wanted to fight Triple H when you can clearly tell the feud was supposed to be Punk versus Nash for whatever reason. It's I wouldn't say it's them crapping on Ring of Honor guys, but I think it's just a case that, if we put them as world champion, people won't care because they're an indie star.
Right.
Which is unfair, because if you're the world champion, I'd say you deserve to main event shows and not be usurped by, the bigger names. In certain cases, it does make more sense. For SummerSlam, it made more sense to have Taker versus Brock as the main event, because it's one of your big pay-per-views. I would not classify Hell in a Cell as one of their big pay-per-views.
No.
So the fact of the matter is, despite the crappiness that went down, Rollins came, despite the Bray Wyatt, what the hell was that going on at Hell in a Cell? The Kane Rollins match, although as average to okay as it was, should have been main event. And the fact that Kane was your contender for that shows you the problem that they were already in before Rollins was even injured. All the memes that are out there now have got the brackets of the title tournament, and Reigns is in every single bracket.
Right. I saw that actually right before we went on the air.
Which is unfair because
Yeah.
there's a lot of people on that card that could make it a very good tournament, which more than likely Reigns could and probably would win. But there again, if you're going to do that, Reigns looks absolutely crap.
Right.
Yeah.
After you've tried to build him as, being crapped on by the fans because they didn't want him to win the Rumble because he did it for The Rock, and then having a great match with Lesnar, which got usurped by Rollins, which was a very clever booking move, and then getting languished in the feud that shouldn't have happened with Bray Wyatt, which resulted in some good moments, but the whole feud seemed like, well, that's just filler, wasn't it, for the card? Now that he's back on ground, and I was looking forward to Rollins versus Reigns, no doubt they were going to put on a hell of a match. And the problem is now it's like the only person that's in contention is Reigns, and nobody else is in a clear enough picture. I mean, okay, you can put Del Rio in, but what does that mean for Zeb? Does that mean Mexican America gets thrown out the window? You can put Owens in, but what does that mean for the IC title?
Right.
The title that's cursed. You can put Sheamus in, but then what happens with the briefcase, if anything? You've got to add that complication into the mix. The writers in the next 2 weeks have got to pull like 17 rabbits out of one hat, and the hat is the size of an egg cup.
They're not going to be able to do it. I fear for what Survivor Series is going to turn into because of this. They've proven consistently they cannot write competent television week after week. Imagine trying to pull what is a Big Four pay-per-view. I know Survivor Series isn't as prestigious as it once was, but trying to pull a Big Four pay-per-view, not just a throwaway monthly event, a Big Four pay-per-view out of their hat when most of the players are not available.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to mention the only viewer in the chat, MC Kilgore, would like us to include him in the conversation. He stayed up till midnight to listen to us, so we appreciate that.
What's he saying then?
The trivia question he had asked earlier was, how many power bombs has John Cena doled out in his illustrious career? I'm not sure what answer we could give that, but and Helen Aseel, I'm not sure. I've never heard of her. With all due respect to him, he said she's a sweetheart and a very important part of the women's rights movement. And he said the fact that we don't talk about her, how unimportant she is really misogynist.
Misogynist.
Okay.
What's that got to do with Rollins?
Yeah, I'm not entirely too sure.
Is this the wrong? Have you gone to the wrong house?
No, this is the.
No, it's in my chat too.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we have to move on. He said, "Can I say it one more time?" I'm not sure what he means. What I can say one more time. So, yeah, I just wanted to mention that.
It.
Okay.
Said it one more time. There you go.
Random, but okay.
Here's the thing, though. They're pushing the panic button now even more so than before. They're trying to get Cena and Lesnar both to show up. They're getting The Undertaker to show back up on Raw. They're trying to literally pull a rabbit out of a hat in 2 weeks. You have to build a major pay-per-view and get people invested in it in 2 weeks, and you don't have a champion. You don't have a tournament, a cohesive tournament booked yet. It's one of those things that it's going to be interesting to see what kind of a car wreck happens out of this pay-per-view.
Well, even leading into the maybe like you just said, for one, the star power is not going to help. It was already proven it didn't help. You had Shawn Michaels, you had Ric Flair, you had Brock Lesnar, The Undertaker, and Stone Cold Steve Austin in one Raw. Didn't help. I thought that was going to spike up the ratings, that was like 2 or 3 weeks ago? Didn't help. It just got even lower. I think Vince McMahon is at the age, he's 70 for crying out loud, where the point, mainly here is that, he needs to, step down. I mean, I figure that he's going to, end up dying working in the office for WWE because he's a workhorse, obviously, and, that's great. But, you may want to take a step back because now you got those comments on social media that Vince is out of touch again. Well, I think he kind of is. If he went on the record and said to Stone Cold Steve Austin months ago or even last year at this point and said Cesaro is not connecting with the audience, well, you're in the gorilla position. Are you listening to the crowd when Cesaro was in the ring? I mean, just for example, if we want to do a tournament here, God, please put Cesaro in the tournament.
Oh, he has to be in it.
Yeah, he has to be in it if they go this route with the tournament. But God forbid if Cesaro wins, that doesn't connect with the crowd because Roman Reigns connects with the crowd more than Cesaro, so he must win the tournament.
But here's the thing, though. You're not booking to one audience. You're booking to everybody.
Yeah.
And you're trying to book to the internet crowd. It's going to alienate a lot of the general public. And if you try to book to the general public, you're going to tick off the internet crowd, which is not as big of a deal in the long run.
Right. Yep. I mean, maybe it was a big deal when, the internet just exploded when Reigns won the Royal Rumble and that hashtag cancel the network movement went on for like 12 hours or 6 hours.
Yeah, but a lot of wrestling fans are petty, though, Aaron.
Yeah, it's a very tough crowd to please. You can't please everybody. And I can understand that. That's why I don't really kind of like this fan base as compared to others, like, the horror community. I like that.
If anything,
so
it should be the opposite way round. If people feel this passionately about WWE, keep buying the network, don't watch the television.
Right.
That's
taking money out of their pockets.
If you're the one that's saying, NXT's the future, give them the money because then that will directly influence that. If you don't watch the television product, advertisers are less interested to try and get adverts in said television product, which means less revenue for USA, which means less revenue for WWE, and SmackDown in 2016 on USA is going to be in trouble.
Okay.
SmackDown's already in trouble because when I read the press release, it said live action. So I'm like, okay, is it live every week or no? It was the way how they worded it. So if it goes to USA Network, stays on Thursdays, which I think is a mistake, and then doesn't go live, I'm not going to care. I'm not going to watch it.
I don't know whether I think what they mean by live action is like when they do it at the Oscars and it's like animated short or live action short. I think it's not. I don't think they mean live. I think they mean live to tape.
Okay, let me bring up. I know everybody likes to throw kindling on the fire because it's burning bright right now, but let's talk about TNA, okay?
Oh God.
Okay, you both I know remember, especially Aaron. You remember when they did where the fans could vote whoever they wanted to get a guaranteed world heavyweight title shot, right?
Oh, the top 10.
Who'd they pick the first week? Nigel McGuinness, Desmond Wolfe.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, you're talking about a few years ago. I can't remember that far.
The second week, they basically had to stop putting him in the ballots because people were letting him win every single week.
Yeah, it was
And
either
that,
him or Samoa Joe, wasn't it? Every other week.
every other week.
Great
Rob Van Dam
performance.
was in that list too. Because when the fans dictate, it's a good thing and a
Yeah.
bad thing at the same time. Like, okay, let's go to WWE.com tomorrow and say we're going to give you a list of 30 superstars. You get to pick the 10 you want to be included in the Survivor Series tournament. That's a recipe for disaster.
The problem is, the thing is, though, that what is the tournament? If it even happens as a tournament.
It's deadly game.
Yeah, but the twist would be, what if you took Shikara's Cybernetico approach?
Yeah.
Do I need to fill in the story here? So, Shikara Cybernetico is normally a 7-on-7 Survivor Series style eliminator.
Right.
But the twist is there can only be one survivor. So let's say all the face team has had all 7 eliminated, and there's 3 heels left. The 3 heels then go at it, eliminator style, to find out who the last one remaining is. If you want to make an interesting tournament, do a 5-on-5 eliminator, but have it where if there is one team left, they have to battle amongst each other until there is literally one person left. And, they are the sole survivor and become champion. Because the fact of the matter is, if this tournament is happening in the way that it is, see, the thing is, they're saying tournament. We don't know whether it's actually going to be an on-the-night tournament.
Right.
Or whether it's going to be over the next 2 weeks of television, and the final is going to be the main event of Survivor Series, but then everybody else can be in their own separate feuds and be in Survivor Series matches or grudge matches or whatever.
That makes the most sense. Let's do King of the Ring qualifiers and have the actual quarterfinals and semifinals and finals at the actual.
Well, I think more likely
more
semi-finals and finals.
Yeah.
Because I think wrestling 3 times in one night only risks the increase of doing of Rollins and getting injured. That would be really awkward. Oh, Roman Reigns has become champion and he's tore his quad. Well,
we're going to do a tournament the next night on Raw. And everybody got injured. Okay, no Raw for the next 2 weeks, man.
No, you know what they would do right then? They would get with the booking agent and be like, okay, fine. That means NXT's taking Monday night. Because we have no choice.
Yeah. Let's just do NXT for one night. That'll go over big. But watch, Owen, if that happened, because it's already a bizarre year for professional wrestling overall. That happened, and NXT was on Monday night in place of Raw. Watch the ratings skyrocket.
See, that's the thing, though, Aaron. You have to understand. We love NXT. We understand NXT. We respect NXT. We are part of the internet wrestling community, as much as I hate to say it.
Yeah.
But the thing is, Joe Bob wrestling fan living in Butte, Montana, doesn't know who Finn Balor is, has never seen Tyler Breeze before, and wonders why this pretty boy's in the main roster.
Exactly.
It really is a catch-22, honestly. Do you use this tournament to get over new talent, if you actually do a tournament, or you just say, LOL, Rollins wins?
LOL.
Not possible, because Rollins isn't in the tournament. Roman Reigns wins without even thinking about it. And, if Roman does win, honestly, this is the time to pull the trigger on having him join up with Triple H and the Authority. You might as well do Deadly Game 100% the way that they did it.
I just think at this point, even though it would be nice to see Reigns finally turn heel, I think it's a little too late. Because if you have Reigns win this tournament, if it really happens, it was predictable. Those memes are right.
But if Reigns wins, who's the guy that WWE looks to in order to take the title off of him?
Dean Ambrose.
The Rock.
Oh.
This is the problem. If you're going to try and bring prestige back to this tournament, they're going to have to try and bring people like Cena and Brock all of a sudden back. And
Right.
go, can we have you for one extra one? Because, we're desperate.
What about Daniel Bryan? Is this going to be enough to bring him back for one night?
Oh, God.
They might as well.
If worst comes to the worst, and it's like a one night only. The problem is, if it happens the one night, then all of a sudden they're gonna go, oh, well, you've done one night, now do another. It's gonna be
Exactly.
the WrestleMania Hall of Fame thing. One more match, and that's the problem. You can't open it up too freely.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. I mean, I agree with what Jim Ross said on Twitter today. He said that this gives them the chance to kind of reshuffle the deck. That's why I really disagree and hope it's not Roman Reigns, because then that's really predictable if he wins this tournament, if it happens, instead of just giving others a chance of the bunch. It would just be too predictable that Reigns won. In my opinion, if Reigns won, I'd be like, oh, that was a waste of a tournament. Quite frankly, I think tournaments are boring in wrestling nowadays. That's just me. I'm not really into them. King of the Ring has just been, this year's King of the Ring was great, I think. But
yeah, because it was positioned and presented in a way where it meant something. Unlike the previous couple on Raw, when it was just like, you knew King of the Ring didn't matter when William Regal won it in 2008, beating CM Punk, and it was like, somebody that's wrestled in WCW for literally probably 20 years, give or take. Possibly close to 15 rather than 20. But either way, it's just...
Because,
I don't know.
Because, this year had great matches.
I don't know.
You actually thought Neville had a chance of winning when he was facing Wade Barrett. That was a great finals match. But besides the fact, personally, I hope they don't go the tournament route. If they do, we'll see some good matchups. We might see Cesaro and Kevin Owens in there somewhere. I hope. They always kill it. And hopefully they get far in the tournament, both of them. But if you just have Reigns win, it's just like, well, Vince's wish came true. Roman's Playboy Reigns.
God, that's a bit harsh.
I mean, it's true. I mean, it's not what the internet is saying. I mean, that's what you hear. When I went to Raw this year, that's what you hear in the crowd. I mean, people do not like Roman Reigns. I mean, of course, it was, all fair play because the show was in Orlando and he lives in Sarasota, so there was a lot more cheers than boos, but,
Well,
but most of the general public like Roman Reigns, though. That's the thing.
I'm just wondering on the availability of Dave now. That's Big Dave. Is he still filming Guardians 2?
I think so.
Because, if he's at the minute just going to the premieres of Bond films all the time, I'm pretty sure he might be free.
I mean, you could stack this tournament huge, but the problem is, if you even do that, you're still resting on your laurels that you're still not pushing any new talent.
Yeah, exactly. Because in the long run, and in the end, it's not pushing talent. It's still shoving Roman Reigns down our throats.
And that's the problem. You see, the thing is, if Reigns beat Rollins, nobody would have a problem with it.
Right.
Yeah.
But because there's no, to excuse the pun with more pay-per-views from WWE, because there's no way out, WWE is going to get the backlash. And Judgment Day / Armageddon will come. And I don't know. Trying to think up of as many old, bad blood will ensue. I don't know.
No, because I see your point, and that's so true, though. That's what would happen. And, just on a side note, that's what will happen if Eve Marie wins the NXT Women's Championship.
Oh.
Just like Reigns winning the Royal Rumble match.
I can't wait for London next month.
I really can't, honestly. Owen, do we want to? Well, it's up to us mutually. But the MC Kilgore in our chat, he said he's giving us an open invitation to join the chat, like literally join the call.
We're not gonna be able to do it tonight, but it is something that we definitely could look into. That's for sure.
Okay.
It's hard to bring someone in like right away because then it becomes a factor. Well, it kind of kills the momentum that we have going, and it happens when we do the Horror Nights podcast all the time, trying to bring people in whenever we're already talking. But yeah, I definitely will keep that in mind. So for sure,
we appreciate that you've been here from the start, waiting.
Yeah, we completely appreciate that you're joining us this late at night or early in the morning, depending on how you're looking at it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, depending where you are in the world. Or, if you're watching this on demand. On demand. Wow, I think I'm on the network.
We are on a network, if you haven't noticed.
Yeah, Pop Network.
Yeah, but you don't have to pay $9.99 for this.
No, you don't.
Yet. Unless you're on YouTube Red, in which case you're an idiot.
Hey, now I'm going to make some money off Red, thank you.
Right?
Yeah, about 4 pence. That's about it.
It's better than nothing.
Radio takes call. We aren't radio.
Yeah, no, we're not radio.
We aren't an old has-been, thing that isn't really up to date anymore. You can blame Colin Cowherd for that.
Right.
I mean, okay, that isn't radio, but still, it's an example of behind the times.
We're basically internet radio is pretty much what it is.
If we were radio, we'd probably give away tickets for like Raw in Manchester, because tickets are probably still available.
If we were radio, we'd be Brian Alvarez.
Right.
Oh, don't mention that fool. Please don't.
No, but that is the only mainstream wrestling show on wide access radio. There's a lot of other ones. The problem is they are getting buried amongst Stone Cold's podcast and JR's podcast and Chris Jericho. Everybody's going podcasts.
Correct.
Cabana.
Cabana
was the first. Yeah, Cabana was the first. Everybody's going on his coattails. It's either way. This Rollins situation, it's something that hopefully they're going to learn from this.
Yeah.
To be honest, this has got to make them realize, with the schedule that they have, working that they're wrestlers, the likelihood of injury is going to increase. You never got this back in the olden days, because in the olden days, as much as I hate to say it, because, nowadays nobody would like this sort of approach to wrestling, you had the big stars taking on jobbers every week so that they were in fit and prime health for all the big shows.
and you had two crews running each town. You had a main event crew, and then
Yeah.
you had a crew that was kind of like the mid card. But still, you had a mid card back then that actually could have carried a main event, and you still have that to this day. It's just they're not running with it.
Speaking of Impact
Yeah.
Wrestling, that we were talking a little
Oh
bit
god.
ago, Taryn Terrell is now a born again Christian.
I just saw that out of the corner of my eye like 20 minutes ago. What's going on with this?
She may walk away from the ring now that she's found God, and she, us fans know her as a sexy, tough, and sometimes provocative character in the ring. Certainly in Impact Wrestling, I knew that. She kind of reminded me of Paige and how she would cover the knockouts to pin them in matches. I don't know what to make of this. I mean, it actually doesn't make any sense. Actually, really doesn't make any sense.
Well, one of my promoters, the last person that I worked for, and I worked for the longest time. I was in the office with them. I did a lot of stuff for the company. That gentleman is still in the wrestling business to this day, and he's a preacher. So I don't want to hear it.
I don't know. It just doesn't make any sense. I mean, from someone, because I'm reading the article here. She's a former Playboy model. She was part of the Dollhouse, which is probably one of the sexiest characters in like scantily clad factions in TNA. And now all of a sudden she finds God.
I mean, there's George South shows. I've worked them before. She could totally work those.
Hang on. Do you think when she found God, God went, you know that bit when you beat up your husband? Can't really sort of forgive you on that.
Yeah, God's a big mark for 3MB.
Especially,
I was hoping someone would roll with that joke.
especially, how can you two work in the same company again? But
I work shows with people that I don't get along with. It's just called being professional.
So wait, so she's sort of reborn again?
well, yeah,
All these shots of her naked in Playboy are they gonna get taken off the internet?
Yeah, I mean, like that's
like it's on the internet. If it's on the internet, it's there forever.
Yeah.
Right. Unless it's like a GeoCities page, and then it's gone with the wind.
Well, no, because even that's archived. The Wayback Machine.
I've looked for my old backyard wrestling websites, and they're all gone.
Well, because nobody bothered to archive them. Which for you is probably for the better. I don't know.
It just seems like she's kind of doing this for publicity now. Like the more I'm reading this, because how all of a sudden can you just be like, oh, I found God. I don't think I want to be a wrestler anymore. Shawn Michaels was a wrestler, and he's very. I think
he found God.
Yeah,
he wrestled with him.
Yeah.
In one of the worst storylines of 2006.
Yeah.
But either way.
Oh my God. Yeah, I remember that storyline. Like even when Vince McMahon was in he was like, "Strike me down, God, strike me down."
He found God. He found God and had a hell of a match at SummerSlam 2002.
Right?
Against Triple H. He found God and went, screw it, I'm wrestling.
I mean, just overall, I just don't think it's really that serious to walk away from the ring. But it's her life; she can do whatever she wants. But in my opinion,
she just wanted to find a way out. That's what that is.
Yeah, find a way out, and this is a publicity stunt. That's what I'm.
Think about. Who was it? Who was the girl who was at TNA? That was a song. She was a second. She had like a second job being a sunglasses saleswoman.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Who basically had to quit her job because people, that basically her job didn't know she was a wrestler, and basically they frowned upon it. And
Jesse Neal had food stamps and stuff like that.
Yeah, but it's because of the money situation, I think that's what it was. She took the second job as the sunglasses saleswoman.
I think it was Taylor Wilde, actually.
That was it, Taylor Wilde. Yeah, that was... I felt so sorry for her,
Yeah.
It's that situation. It's...
Oh God, this interview.
You never know what's going on with TNA,
Right.
Some of that stuff.
People you can make money and live on independent wrestling. You can. I know. My good friend does it. And
That's true.
It's something you can do. But it's not for everyone. And everybody's not getting to WWE overnight. It's an arduous process. And it comes with a lot of bumps and bruises, and it comes with a lot of paying dues, and it comes with a lot of nights that you make $5 and make a hot dog and handshake.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I never got the hot dog thing. I got paid in soda and a handshake. That's beside the point. It's like you pay your dues in the wrestling business now. I mean, you don't get trained just to do one match and be like, oh, I can't get the night off at Hot Topic, so I'm not going to order soda.
So for you, it was eat, sleep, suplex, soda, repeat.
Actually, it was curb stomp because that's what I used. I was a manager with a finisher, folks. I know.
Wow.
I got crap for that so many times, but I did it.
Manager with a finisher. Blimey.
Okay. When I was a tag team manager, actually. I did the Bill Alfonso thing, did the manager of Champion Steez. And my guy used to feed the guy to the floor, distract the ref, and then I would curb stomp him and toss him into the ring. And yes, MC Kilgore, I have done suplexes before. I have been suplexed and I have suplexed. I got Russian leg sweep off the ladder. So yes.
So he literally did eat, sleep, suplex, repeat.
Yeah.
Probably. Not as many times, but yeah.
I am undefeated in singles matches. We'll speak of that. I have had one, and the rest of them are multi-man matches. But yes, I am undefeated in my one singles match.
Forever, because we're not gonna suddenly chant one more match at Owen.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't mind it if there was a company to work for in this area anymore. I totally would go back without a doubt.
Time to get blocked.
Oh no. Aaron's getting ready to have some fun.
Uh-oh.
Well, I'm
Twitter.
surprised Eve Marie hasn't blocked me yet. I give her a shit more than anybody else. I don't think Eve Marie blocks anybody.
Apparently MC Kilgore was at one of the shows I worked at. That's kind of cool. Awesome.
Scaring his brother-in-law. I love it.
Yeah, I did swing a chair at children because I didn't know it was them kicking me, so.
Oh my.
And I did tell some redneck that I cut Dale Earnhardt's brake lines.
Wow.
It's all in the
mindset of heat. My God.
It's all about getting heat. Okay, the thing is though, like we've said numerous times, it's one of those things that WWE are going to have to learn from their mistakes on the fly. When we get to Raw this Monday night, we're going to see probably something that was completely thrown together in like 2 days, and it'll show. We'll start either the tournaments for the next 2 weeks to get the semifinals and the finals at the pay-per-view, or they'll just try to figure something else out. Because right now, we're seeing that you've got the Wyatt family against The Undertaker and Kane and whomever their partners are going to be. And a lot of
If
people are
any.
saying it's Sting.
Well, we don't even. That's another guy that's injured,
Yeah,
and we
exactly.
don't know his status. He's another one. That's like 7 in 1 month.
Honestly,
What's the problem here?
Well, here's the thing, Ashley. What I would do at this point is I would call some NXT guys in to fill out Survivor Series.
Yeah. All of a sudden, that would mean they'd be in high regard, which would be positive.
Because,
when is their next tapings?
Aaron
will know. He
Aaron's
probably
the
goes.
next NXT tapings.
Oh no, I'm not, because they're sold out.
When are they?
When are they? When are the ones you can't go to?
November something, November 16, November 19.
So Whoa. There's the issue, because those are clearly the tapings that are going to lead into TakeOver.
Right.
Yeah, that is the tape.
But that is the Thursday and Wednesday or whatever before Survivor Series.
Mm-hmm.
So if they did, you could do it. You could fill out the undercard with them as a showcase to then free up, something. You can't, because we know the Divas match. We can't really do the 4 horsewomen approach, like Owen so desperately wanted.
It needed to happen, dang it.
But that it's going to be interesting to see. For all of a sudden, it means the show that's being taped in London, Manchester, all of a sudden is a must-see. Really, because it's like, what are they going to do? Because
well, I can tell you what they're going to do. You could just have Eva Marie show up on Raw, and she can face Sasha Banks, and then we can decide who's Ratchet more.
No.
Oh my God, Aaron, just
let's be fair, because Eva Marie hasn't gone on the tour, so that'd be practically impossible. Because I don't think she's got a passport.
No,
or at
she
least
got a passport. She
leave.
was in Paris. You saw the video. She was in Paris.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Or she disguised as one of the bolts to go in the Eiffel Tower.
It's time to start using some of the NXT guys to help this card out.
I agree with that. I'm all for that.
All of a sudden, the Evolve deal looks like an essential thing.
Right.
It's like, well, guess who's going to be wrestling in Greensville, South Carolina in 10 days?
But like Aaron said, and I agree with this, if this tournament does go down, and it sounds like it's going to, I say on Monday night we start using feud matches in order to make them tournament matches, and that can build to their Survivor Series match.
Yeah,
like Dolph Ziggler and Tyler Breeze and Kevin Owens and Cesaro. I mean, you can use those, and then
Owens and Ryback.
Oh, screw that feud.
Oh no, I'm just thinking.
I want Ryback and Rhino.
Cesaro and Stardust.
Yeah, that's definitely starting.
No, Neville. Even Neville and Cesaro versus Barrett and Sheamus.
Yes, I love that stable so much.
One approach that I would like to see, but then again, it would make Reigns. God, I keep getting their names wrong. Look even more crap. Is if Sheamus is in the tournament. Let's say they actually do it all on one night on Survivor Series.
Yeah.
Sheamus is in the tournament. loses, but then either during the final or after the winner is announced and crowned the new champ, Sheamus immediately cashes in and takes the belt. Because in essence, if you want to, it'd be too smarky for this to happen. But in that essence, literally, you've actually got the authorities guy. Because we all know that Sheamus is basically practically in the pocket of Triple H.
Right.
You know, has been ever since the Shawn Michaels speech to him before WrestleMania. When he retired at WrestleMania 26. It's clear that, you know, they were earmarking him as somebody that's going to be there for the long term. And then he went and made Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2. And then everyone went, well, he's not the future anymore. He's ruined himself. But either way, it'd be, you see, it's the way you could continue it on, because it could still be the authority in charge and their guys at the top. Because I think it'd be better for Rollins to win, because you can't really say it's a big four anymore. In essence, it's a big three, because the ones people really only care about at the minute is, yeah, the ones people only really care about at the minute are Rumble, Mania, and SummerSlam.
Right. And Survivor Series
has sort of become an also round.
It's lost its
Vince
luster.
doesn't really give a damn about it either. Yeah. So the fact is, if, let's say, Roman won at the Rumble while pursuing Sheamus because whatever shenanigans happen, you know, the other fact of the matter is it's only 2 months. We got TLC and then it's the Rumble.
Yes.
So if you wanted to pitch it like that, there is an opportunity there to possibly do it. As I say, though, the problem is that would make Reigns look just as crap as he did at. Well, it didn't make him look crap at Mania, because he did take the beating. But the fact of the matter is, he's left. You know. The fact of the matter is, if they actually did bring Cena into the tournament and let him go far enough, you know, hell, even if the semi-finals, let it be Reigns versus Cena.
I wouldn't have a problem with that.
Because then the fans wouldn't know who to boo.
Yeah, I know, that's true. I mean, because, like, I think...
Actually, if that happened, Reigns might get the rub. It's like, oh my god, he beat Cena. But then at the same time, they go, we knew he was going to beat Cena because Cena's going to be having 49 years off.
See, I think...
Or, you know, however long. But...
I think Survivor Series is going to be a much stronger pay-per-view because Roman Reigns is on there. They're going to make him look strong.
That's the problem, though.
Yeah, I know.
That's too obvious.
Yeah.
That's why Roman cannot win.
Yeah.
If you look at that card, you've got the Undertaker Bray Wyatt thing, whatever the shit that's becoming, and Roman Reigns, and the Divas match with Paige and Charlotte, but there's nothing else obvious that's there. So, you know, they don't need to rewrite too much, because your feuds can still be incorporated into TLC. You've just somehow now got to incorporate these feuds into the main event pitch, or into the tournament. The main event picture is obviously going to have to be completely rewritten. This is going to, you know, AJ would get this joke, but it's going to be a burnt. You know, it's going to go through so many screen tests and trial runs, and then right at the last minute, oh, we have to change everything. Oh, it's
bad.
as I say, though, I hope I hope it's a shot in the arm to the E to realise they're running their talents a bit too ragged. They're doing too many house shows. You know, I can understand them doing house shows and splitting them up to two separate groups for a European tour, but in some cases, they're literally having two shows in North America. You know, think back to Madison Square Garden. You know, it was a pretty decent card that you got for the Madison Square Garden show, but at the same time, there was another show happening, I think, in Montreal or Toronto, somewhere in Canada, at the same time. So rather than letting those talents rest and then be part of like one of the other house shows to let some of the other guys rest, and the fact is with the house shows as well, I believe if you looked at the details for every single match, like for the local event, you know, if you went to like Ticketmaster or Ticket Factory or Fandango, whatever they use for the UK and European tour, I believe the main event for practically every single show was Rollins versus Kane.
Right.
Well, I feel sorry for them now because now it's going to be Kane versus Big Show.
Well, I don't know what happened. Actually, I don't know what.
And we lost Ashley.
Wow, that was
I don't know, and gone.
That was Vince is listening to the podcast and he's like, they're talking bad about my boy Reigns. No, what I was saying is that I guess Ashley had not been aware of who the replacement was for Rollins, if they were gonna do the main event same for every show, but it is Big Show is Rollins' replacement. So I feel sorry for all those ticket holders to see Big Show versus Kane.
Yeah, that's something I don't want to watch either.
No. I saw on Twitter hours ago, I still haven't looked into the article, but there's going to be another house show streamed on the network, and it could feature Brock Lesnar and John Cena again. I'm like, oh.
I mean, those matches are good.
Yeah, their matches are good, but, it's just like, Taker and Brock Lesnar again. Let's just take something that was done a few years ago. I mean, Lesnar and Cena was much more, recent than Taker and Lesnar. In terms of like years apart and then reigniting the feud. But, whatever works. Lesnar on a house show is entertaining. He came and dominated Big Show and he left. So,
I mean, I was looking forward to seeing Rollins and Lesnar again.
Yeah, exactly. Beast in the East, loved it.
That was a fun podcast too.
That was a phenomenal show.
It was.
The special and the podcast both were just phenomenal. I was looking forward to Rollins at Royal Rumble, and now I can't. So I want my money back. Damn it! I'm still gonna go.
You're still gonna go.
Still gonna go, but it is a huge disappointment. And really bad timing for someone like Seth Rollins to, be a great world champion. And he is the future of WWE. I mean, whether critics and wrestling fans alike say it or not. I mean, they can't say anything really about a dead legend like Dusty Rhodes that said, and he endorsed him, he was the future of the WWE.
This is sink or swim time for Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
I mean, what I would do at this point is I would love to have like them do the same thing they did at Deadly Game, and this would be where Reigns turns. But the problem is you want that spot for Sheamus, because Sheamus is already turned, obviously. But do you really want Sheamus to be turned because they'll be promoting Ninja Turtles soon, and that's an issue as well. It's like, how long are they going to keep the briefcase on him? I have a feeling that before the Royal Rumble that he'll probably cash in.
That brought back a memory when you said Ninja Turtles.
Yeah. Yeah, I understand. Well, those are two compelling arguments. But the thing is, it's just a bad time right now overall, because now you're having to deal with the fact that most of your roster is on the injured list.
Yeah.
Everybody that you would put anything into, they're not doing anything with.
Yeah.
So they're really having to run around like chickens with their heads cut off right now to try to figure out what to do. You got a pay-per-view in 2 weeks, and it's not a question of, oh, we just don't have a card. It's a question of, we don't have any workers for this card.
Exactly. And it's kind of like a simple fix when you think about it, because, wrestling fans on the internet feel like it's really easy for WWE to figure this out. It kind of isn't. I guess if you were in their shoes, you would be pushing the panic button, making calls to, God knows who, to either work the pay-per-view or just show up on Raw to bring star power back. The Rock was brought up in a report earlier. But yeah, like The Rock's going to go to Manchester. But via live stream, boots to asses probably. But, other than that, it's kind of like a simple issue. If you do a tournament, push the people that you weren't pushing.
Right.
But the problem still lies that Reigns will win the tournament, and then all those memes will be true.
It's one of those things, though. At this point, I would say
You might as well.
you have to give the tournament to someone else.
Yeah. That's the thing. I mean, you can't. It just seems like ever since January, they're forcing us to like Roman Reigns.
He's getting better. I'll give him that.
Yeah, I mean, he's getting better. He's had some good matches.
I love the match at Hell in a Cell.
I still had not watched that, that match. And but he's still not the complete package because the mic skills.
Here's the thing, though. Oh, real quick, before we go any further, MC Kilgore, you have been in our chat tonight. We appreciate your involvement in the chat, and hopefully you enjoyed everything tonight, and hopefully you'll join us on Raw Monday night for live chat. Hopefully Acer will be in the chat room on Monday night, because this was kind of a thrown together podcast, to be honest. So I did want to shout him out for being in the chat tonight. 100%. Thank you for joining us.
Yes, thank you. Hope you enjoyed what you were listening to.
But with Roman Reigns, it's one of those, you have to understand that you're not going to make everybody happy. You're just not. I mean, you could not push Roman Reigns, and you're going to make a lot of people happy, but you're not going to make other people happy as well. It's really hard to get that balance that works. Like,
true, because you don't have that balance with anybody else in the company. Like, Cesaro, there may be people that don't like Cesaro, and people are asking why we need to push Cesaro. Like, I came across a comment today, not about Cesaro. I came across a comment on Eva Marie's Twitter page, and someone said that haters are going to hate. She's the future of NXT, and I'm like, what is this person smoking?
No, it's this thing that some fans see what other fans can't see or don't want to see.
Yeah, it's confusing sometimes, but I think that's what makes wrestling interesting and annoying most of the time.
Right.
Like you said, they see things that we don't see. I mean, this podcast, every time we do it, is solely based on our own opinions.
True.
If people agree with it or not, that's okay. We're all entitled to our opinions. And we're not going to agree with each other, most of the time. And I think, like I said, that's what makes wrestling interesting and annoying, because you can't really please everybody. Whereas other fan bases I like being a part of, because there's really there's much less criticism. Everyone just takes it all in and consumes it. And internet and wrestling really have a love and hate relationship. Doesn't really go together.
That's kind of a problem too.
Yeah, no, it is a big problem. We just can't kill the internet, and everything would be better for wrestling in general. But it's just a very, very interesting time, though, because it's not only bad timing, but like I said, it just goes back to the ratings. Like, what is this going to do to the ratings? And like how's Raw going to open now? Like, we don't have Monday Night Rollins. Are we going to go back to the Authority openings? We had an Authority promo this week, and it's still kind of weird. Watching Triple H and Stephanie saying, "We got a great show for you tonight," instead of like, "You all shut up, we're talking." Like, it's kind of weird to adjust to that. So it's just a bizarre second half of 2015, and the first half was bizarre enough because we had untimely deaths, Dusty Rhodes and Roddy Piper, and now we have untimely injuries. And is Randy Orton's injury true or false, where he botched taking out the trash and he threw out his shirt?
That's just such a weird story that it's kind of like there's no way someone would come up with something that inane.
Yeah, that's what I was saying to my dad earlier. Like, did we think that up, or the dirt sheets think that up? Like what is the case with Randy Orton? Is he taking time off, or is he really injured?
I would say Randy Orton right now is at a crossroads at this point with his career. Yeah. I mean, he can't, if he wants to wrestle, if he wants to consistently wrestle, he's going to have to stay where he is, and he's going to have to resign, because there's no other game in the business right now, because everybody else is just like wishy-washy at best. And I don't see, I could see how Randy Orton would get over in Japan, but I don't think it would be like strong overall. So it's one of those things that he's got to stay where he is. And now he's got the acting bug, just like Cena did. And I mean, the good thing about Cena, I look at it, is he's trying to balance them both. And a lot of wrestlers try to balance them both. Then you have some wrestlers that they get the bug, and it's like, it's time to leave. And wrestling was great, but I got this really awesome Hollywood career now, and now I'm a James Bond villain. And it's kind of like, it's one of those things that wrestling can just be a stepping stone some places to some people.
Yeah. I mean, because or I found a new religion and I have to walk away.
We're not disrespecting Taryn Terrell at all. It's one of those things that right now it's kind of like, it seems like it's in to bash wrestling a little bit. So wrestling is under such a microscope right now. It's kind of like, the haters are just waiting on the next mistake to be made.
Yeah. Well, no, because the only reason why, I'm kind of criticizing and forming an opinion over Taryn Terrell is because it's just odd timing. That's all.
Yeah.
It's just odd timing. Like, oh yeah, I'm the dollhouse, and I'm wearing like this freaking bra where you can see my tits and everything, and now it's oh, I found God.
I'm afraid I've got some bad news.
Ashley's back.
As soon as I heard bras mentioned, King Barrett was the optional choice.
Oh yeah.
Or the creepy Wade Barrett.
Oh God.
Nice
No.
Crumpet there, if I do say so myself.
Oh God. Well, Ashley, welcome back.
Back in the UK, I'm slaying the puss 24/7, 366, because I do leap years too.
Jesus.
No, that's Dandig.
Jesus. But Ashley, back to what you were saying.
Yeah, I was talking for about 10 minutes, and then I realised, oh, the computer's done its weird thing again. So I don't know where I was
wow.
getting cut off. I was going. I was literally like going into the my manifesto for taking over as CEO. I think it was like
That's hilarious.
it was an impassioned, just I don't know, crazy thing. I can't even remember what I said because bad news Barrett mind wiped me. It was just like whoosh. But I don't know. It's weird the state, the state that everything's in now.
Yeah.
Even in short term, as in terms of TLC, I don't know what this means.
Yeah, TLC is completely in question right now.
Well, like, could we go as far as to mention the Royal Rumble too? Is that like, is John
I
Cena?
honestly think Reigns was never going to win the Rumble.
Right.
Yeah.
It was going to be somebody else. But
We had
I
Reigns
mean,
and Joan Kane as the last three.
the one advantage you honestly could take, considering that he's been showing up to Evolve shows and saying that, he's fit and healthy to wrestle soon. If we did have a tournament,
Sami Zayn.
could this be where Zayn takes on Owens?
Oh,
And you start that feud. Bring it forward a bit because,
is Zayn even better?
Zayn's been at Evolve shows saying that, he's getting better. That could be code for the way they seem to be hinting at some stuff. It seemed as if,
Oh, I know.
he was practically going to wrestle there, which was
Ooh,
extremely unlikely because of the NXT situation.
right.
But I think the likelihood is, if he thinks he's ready, and because of the situation they're in, it'd be a good time to do it because I keep forgetting where TLC is supposed to be this year. I keep forgetting.
I'll find out. Give me a second.
Because if it's a wrestling, I shouldn't say if it's a wrestling town.
Boston.
Where?
Boston.
If it's a
Holy
wrestling
crap.
town, you're in and of course, if you're there, anybody from Philly could go, anybody from New York could go. It's not a million miles away. It's the Midwest.
Yeah.
So, if Boston would be, I mean, you couldn't really have a straight up TLC match between the two of them. If you did, the Ring of Honor fans would go there like bloody crazy.
Oh yeah.
But that week in itself, that 8 days, actually no, 6 days is going to be ridiculous. Because Saturday is Cage of Death. Sunday is TLC. Wednesday is the NXT live special in London. And Friday is Ring of Honor's Final Battle, which is worth noting is the first time a pay-per-view will be happening in the 2300, formerly known as ECW Arena, since ECW is barely legal in 1997. That 6 days is going to be ridiculous in terms of just that stuff. God knows how many other indie promotions are going to be having a show either the weekend of Cage of Death and TLC or the weekend after the Final Battle is on the Friday. It's there we go. That alone is gonna make, I think, some booking decisions, because because ideally you sort of want the NXT crowd to go to that TLC show. And the best way to do it would be incorporate former NXT talents on it. And if you think of two that have a feud, once again, because apparently everywhere they go, they have to fight each other.
I had
Kevin and Sammy.
I had heard that or actually read not long ago that there won't be an NXT show on the weekend of the Royal Rumble, so that sucks.
No, I have a feeling there will be.
I don't know if it was going to be a live show. You know, it's not going to be like NXT Brooklyn and all that before SummerSlam.
Yeah.
But didn't they have a show? They had a house show before WrestleMania, didn't they? And I think before another pay-per-view, like literally like the night before. But they didn't broadcast it; they just taped it for television matches.
I think
If
so.
anything, they could be doing that. Because as long as you don't have matches that involve the champion and whatever, you could put them as filler matches, you know, for the Christmas and New Year period. While they're obviously not taping because, you know, Santa and his Jewish candles are getting in the way, or whatever it is, you know. I don't know how that stuff works. That's the other aspect as well. The tapings for Christmas is, and you know, it's the volume of the shows. It's everything. As I keep saying, you know, I keep going back round to this amazingly, because you know it's a fact of life and death. So take heed, Aaron. That you need to learn from the experience, and WWE needs to learn that although they've got a large roster, the problem is they're stretching it so far on the schedule that they're giving it that these sort of injuries are going to happen, and then in turn it hurts the image. And then in turn, you bring the old people back, and then the new fans are like, I don't want to see the old people. You know, that's why you had people booing The Rock when Reigns won the Rumble, because they realized the only reason he's there is because, you know, Roman did it for The Rock, sort of thing. Yeah, that's the only time Rock would even get booed, I think. Any other time it would. And the problem, you know, there'd be the mark-out moments if they showed up on Survivor Series, like all these surprise names or whatever.
Mm.
You know, it'd be sort of like an Alberto Del Rio at see, all of a sudden I'm thinking about this and I'm wondering, is Rey Mysterio going to go back? Because if they offer him the right money because they're that desperate enough,
Alberto Del Rio.
he could suddenly go back. Or Del Rio went back for a fair sum.
There's some fans saying that you know, they still don't get Alberto Del Rio and Zeb Coulter. I get it. I mean, I think it's a great combo.
The thing that I don't get about it is it trying to piss off Donald Trump or is it trying to please him?
Interesting.
Because they haven't really tried to pit. You know, the way Alberto's acting is heelish. But the whole idea of Mex America is anti-Trump.
Holy crap! If they have Trump go on the show, just via satellite.
Considering it's bloody, considering it's Trump, I don't think McMahon would want to do anything anti-Trump.
Right.
So the storyline just seems a bit sort of, is it trying to be scathing of him?
It would be funny. It would be funny if it was
like a backhanded compliment.
It'd be funny if it was, because then, like, just like have Donald Trump show up via satellite and said, Alberto, that's not really funny. You better show me your papers if you're illegal.
God.
I think it's hilarious. I actually hope that's what they're doing.
And then Alberto Del Rio goes, I'm afraid I've got some bad news.
You're
then we
just a
find
liar.
out it's
Just a liar.
and we find out it's King Barrett that's just randomly, gained a few extra pounds to get a bit more muscle mass, and randomly Sheamus is now dressed up like Zeb Coulter on like a elderly scooter thing. Actually, no. Let's do that approach. Let's have everybody come out on scooters. Or like old school WrestleMania when they come down on the platforms. Then they don't have to walk to the ring. It's less exercise. No, makes perfect nonsense.
Perfect nonsense, huh?
But yeah, it's the Rollins thing is a shame, just because he was really at the getting to the point where, the fact of the matter is, people would pay to boo him.
Yeah.
And if you're in that position, you're a heel, son. You're the heel. You're in the big time. And due to, I'm actually gonna have a quick look, see if I can get any notes for what the match was tonight. Now, who Kane actually was facing.
Big Show?
Oh wait, that wasn't a joke?
No.
No, it wasn't a joke. Yeah,
Oh,
that's what I was
God.
saying.
That's not a joke at
Oh,
all. We
no.
wish it were, but it's not a joke.
Oh no! Oh no! I'm gonna say that over and over again now. Oh no! God.
Too funny.
Oh, bloody hell. Hang on, WWE Live, November 5. No, I don't want to know about Nottingham. Or was that where they were? I can't remember.
Thursday live event, Glasgow, Scotland.
Free that
Oh,
got so
Glasgow. Oh no. Oh, that's the irony. I think they're in the same arena that ICW is going to be in about 10 days. Yeah. That's the same arena that they're going to be in. Wow. There's an irony. Poor old WWE. I don't know how sold out that WWE show was, because if Insane Championship Wrestling sells out there, literally, I'm afraid I've got some bad news. Literally. Wait, what? Whoa. That's an interesting name. Barrett came out ripping on Glasgow. Well, I guess that sort of makes sense. Where was it? Yeah, that's an interesting one. Why the hell? Why the hell is Bailey there? I mean, I'm not objecting, but okay.
Which promotion?
At the Glasgow show tonight. Oh right, because this is on the split card. God, the main event was Reigns versus Wyatt in a street fight. Really? Del
Right.
Rio Fandango. Apparently, it's actually a good match.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, but the problem is it's Fandango. That's a credible contender.
When I'm playing 2K16, he is.
Lucha Dragons, Ascension, and Los Matadors in the triple threat.
Lucha.
God Almighty. Ryback versus Owens.
Stupid.
Oh, great thing is Owens got DQ for a rake to the eyes. Why didn't it happen the other times? Logic? None. None. None.
Never is.
Quote the Raven. None. Nevermore.
I feel like this is like Kevin Dunn, like after Rollins got injured, and Vince is like, "Well, we just lost our champion. What are we gonna do? Reigns. Oh, I love that idea, Dunn. Let's do it. Reigns.
Oh, God. Comeback Bailey, all's forgiven. The second to last match on the NXT show tonight was Nia Jax versus Aliyah.
Wow.
Oh my God.
With apparently a terrible botched ending that nearly involved death.
Oh.
It's just...
Well, because
Somebody-
it's hilarious. Talking about botches, you got to mention the queen of botches, Eva Marie. When I watched this week's NXT, she was facing Marley, but it was like the Daddy-O girl from New Jersey. I can't.
Yeah, she's had one match. That
Yeah.
was the match against Eva Marie.
Yeah, exactly. And you
What
know,
a great opponent for Eva Marie to test herself against.
it's funny because
Oh.
they uploaded the match to their YouTube channel, like highlights of the match. And it's
What was it? -4 seconds. It's
Eva-
like there were so many highlights. There's just lowlights. You know,
yeah.
insert your own 6-second Vine because we'll just put it on here instead.
But it was like they uploaded the video to YouTube, and it was funny because the title was Eva Marie versus local competitor. Local competitor? What the fuck? And then
Local competitor. Yeah, it's like, wow, you're that proud of signing her, aren't you? At the age of 21, local competitor. You dumb shit. You know,
but during the match, like
the thing with Marley, she's the
Please don't.
first. The thing with Marley, she's the first in-house trained wrestler by Sarah Del Rey.
oh wow.
If you think about it, because Sarah Del Rey's only been there for like 12 to 18 months.
Hmm.
So this will be the first one that's come in with no wrestling experience and hasn't been on wrestling product. And she's, if Sarah Del Rey molds her, you might have something special. Keeps facing Eva Marie, she's going to die.
Exactly, because during the match, the fan, and I was there for this match. I was at the fans started chanting, "Please don't hurt her."
So apparently at this NXT show tonight, Dasha Fuentes, I don't know who that is.
Oh, she's the
interviewed,
ring announcer. No,
Levis Valenzuela. That's supposed to be an anagram of Venezuela, and you just got lazy. Promised to be the first Dominican NXT champion. Out came Emma, who knocked him for dancing. Then tried to slap him, but he caught her, started dancing with her, and then led to a bunch of new recruits, which probably included Biff Busick and Rich Swann and Athena and God knows who else, doing a conga line round the bloody room.
heinous.
Sounds like the Rosebuds are back.
I love Athena.
Have you seen the social media for the Adam Rose stuff now?
It looks like Oswald the Lucky Rabbit.
Well, it's Donnie Darko, isn't it?
It's Oswald the Lucky Rabbit mixed with Donnie Darko. That's exactly
Yeah.
what it is.
The thing is, so hang on, was the Big Show? Where did the Big Show Kane match happen? When
The
did
show
that happen?
the show tonight, or last night, I guess in this case.
Where was that?
They still in Ireland?
Might no, it could be in Belfast. Cardiff. One show was in Scotland and one show was in Wales. Wales. Lillian Garcia sang Farrow of Scotland. Really? They sang the Scottish national anthem? Is that a fit? You know, I get it for American wrestling, but I don't think at many Scottish shows do they sing the Scottish anthem before the wrestling.
I'm just so thrilled.
I want to know how. I want to know whether Bloomin' Eden now murdered the Welsh anthem.
What?
I'm thrilled that they had a picture of Sheamus
Oh my God.
and Becky Lynch together on Instagram. I'm like, oh, they just make such a good couple.
Big Show and Kane was the main event, and it was a fucking street fight.
Oh my God.
Oh.
That makes my head spin.
The Dudley Boys versus the New Day. So why weren't they on Raw?
Because we have to protect the Usos.
What, by making them work more shows so they get injured?
So.
If one of them gets injured again, you know, as they're building them up again, it's like, we should have just stuck with the Dudleys. Becky Lynch beat Brie Bella. Correct.
Yes.
Curtis Axel beat Bo Dallas. Wow, they haven't died. They haven't killed that. Wait, Finn Balor versus Sheamus?
They've been doing that match lately.
Why can I not get an illegal recording of this show? What? That should have been an event. You're everything. Oh my word.
Yeah, I want to see that match.
I forgot about that. Just for shits and giggles, are we going to be doing live coverage of TNA's One Night Only in Mumbai?
I don't know how many people would watch that podcast.
I even laughed at that.
That's why I want to do it. I want to laugh my ass off. You know.
I bet the wrestling's good.
We can't. Because the following Friday is also Tribute to the Troops, apparently, on Syfy.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
So basically, we're about to murder people. I mean, yeah, I'd like to do that because that Mumbai show could be that Mumbai show might, then when the UK shows happen, we'll have to cover them because they might be the last shows ever. No, let's be honest.
I
If
know.
the situation doesn't improve for TNA, those shows in the UK might be the last shows they ever do.
Yeah.
So it might be worth covering them, despite how good or bad they might be. You know, if it's the thing is, if it's Mumbai and they realise that everybody wants to see Kurt Angle, and Kurt Angle gets injured in Mumbai, TNA is going to have to pay so much money for healthcare for him that the company might be out of business before the end of the year.
Yeah, I just don't want to see or cover that show because that stupid goof, the frickin' India guy doing that stupid ass dance. I mean, seriously, it's the dumbest frickin' thing.
That's the best bit, because then we can just get random music and have him dance to it.
Like his push in the company's a joke.
I'll get the Doctor Who theme from 1980 and make him dance to it.
Oh God.
I'll get Henry Mancini's theme from Peter Gunn and make him dance to it.
I literally tried doing that in front of the mirror. I tried doing that dance in front of the mirror. I'm like, I look so fucking stupid right now.
Why did you try to do that dance in front of the mirror, Aaron? That's my question to you.
I'm just amazed you tried doing that dance, you bloody prat. Yes. Oh.
I want to see like how stupid it was because I always thought.
Well, guess what? It looks bloody stupid. Why did you need to look at yourself in the mirror to realise? You done goofed. Oh. Something I do want to mention. Just because I got notice of this pretty much last minute yesterday. Those of you here on YouTube, I recommend you watch Raw on your television and then tune your internet because you've got more than one. Everybody has more than one because there's a secret one. It's the bad news internet.
Oh no!
Either
Not that
way,
bad news, internet.
either way, if you go to Beyond Wrestling, if you search for Beyond Wrestling, you'll find the Beyond Wrestling channel. On there, due to the previous successes that they've had with previous events, Beyond Wrestling is having another hashtag Raw alternative show.
Okay, I'm watching it. So,
but the
Really
interesting twist, I can say it like that, twist, is because, well, let's see if Aaron can work, well, or you, Owen, can you work out what the twist could be?
It's not on during Raw?
No, it's on during Raw, but think about Raw.
It's 3 hours.
Yeah, but think about where it's happening. Manchester, England.
Right.
So because of that, all the matches
we get spoilers.
are European Tour matches.
Ooh.
So it's 8 British promotions and WXW from Germany, all getting the chance to showcase one of their matches as part of this Raw alternative show. I might as well run them through them because obviously by the time we do the next hangout, nobody will know. So from Attack Pro Wrestling, you're going to have Mark Andrews, who's been doing wonders in TNA, taking on Pete Dunne, who is a good talent, I will say that. Empress Pro Wrestling will have a triple threat women's match with Kaylee Ray, who should have done better in the TNA British Boot Camp, but apparently they're idiots. Instead they just go with Taryn Terrell, who then gets out of wrestling because she's a god. But Kaylee Ray taking on Addie Starr and Chardonnay from Fight Club Pro. I guess by default my local promotion. The Hunter brothers of Lee and Jim Hunter will take on the Wolves of Davey Richards and Eddie Edwards. And knowing the Hunter brothers style, it's very Wolves style, so that should be good. From IPW UK, Jimmy Havoc taking on Sammy Smooth. Preston City Wrestling will be having Dave Mastiff, another guy that got a lot of attention on British Boot Camp, taking on Adam Cole, baby.
Oh, wow.
I've heard a lot of good stuff about that match. Also, from Progress Wrestling, and this is probably, if this isn't main event, I'd be surprised. Zack Sabre Jr. taking on Tommaso Ciampa. Both really, there's a reason why Zack Sabre won the Battle of Los Angeles for PWG this year. There's a reason. That is the reason. From Southside Wrestling, you got Will Ospreay taking on Roderick Strong. The show from Germany, Westside Extreme Wrestling, is going to have Big Daddy Walter, Axel Dieter Jr. and DeMac taking on Robert Dreisker, Julian Mero, and Ilya Dragunov. Why would you name yourself after a sniper rifle? With Adam Polak. And from Tidal Wrestling, El Ligero taking on Rich Swann.
Oh.
So you're getting all that for free, plus on the television, you're getting whatever mess WWE is going to be in because of Rollins' injury. It's a winner, chicken dinner! I'm afraid I got some bad news.
I have a feeling the ratings for Raw Monday night actually might be up somewhat because people are going to be curious to see what they're going to do.
Yeah. But at the same time, they should be just leaving YouTube on for 3 hours. Because the more ratings these shows get, the more times when they can do this indie wrestling showcase. Because that's the thing. You know, I think the reason why Raw Alternative 3 or whatever this is happening is because everybody's been saying the last 6 or 7 weeks of Raws have been crap. The irony, of course, being this past week was pretty good. And now with the Seth Rollins thing, who knows what the shit they're going to do? But weirdly enough, that's happened quite a few times, actually. When they've done the Raw alternatives, it's been a case of they've had to put it on in such a they've had to put it on, and then at the same time, Raw suddenly stepped up. I think the first time that they did it was when actually earlier this year. They did it on the same night that Owens made his debut in WWE. You know, when he wrestled or went or tried to wrestle Cena and just took him out. You know, the week after the Sami Zayn stuff. So, in essence, if more people watch and more Raw alternatives happen, then by default you'll get better Raws because then all of a sudden Raw's actually got competition other than Monday Night Football. So by default, everybody in the world should be watching #Raw Alternative. I can't plug this anymore, Drew Cordero. I'm doing my best. But yeah, Aaron, put it on your tablet or whatever while you're watching the TV.
Mm-hmm.
And then when Eva Marie suddenly wrestles on it like you predict, just focus on the tablet.
Oh no, I will definitely. No, because like if Eva Marie's gonna be on Raw on Monday night, I'll just be like, fuck this shit, I'm out.
But yeah, it's good to see some actual British wrestling, not Sheamus versus Bad News Barrett. Team DX Security going one-on-one. But yeah, cheap plug. Well, no, it wasn't cheap. Well, no, nobody paid me, so it wasn't expensive either. But you know, whatever it is, plug is done. You should go watch that as well as watch Raw because, my word, all of a sudden wrestling's picking up business again, which is good to see. Apart from TNA, in which case, I was going to say, should we talk the Ring of Honor news and the fact the Young Bucks have signed a deal with Ring of Honor?
Yeah, I saw that actually. Not completely surprised.
The key interesting, I guess, addition to their contract, because normally if Ring of Honor guys are contracted, they can't wrestle anywhere else.
Mm-hmm.
From what Matt has said on social media, the deal that they've done means they can still do New Japan shows, and most importantly, at least for me, they can still do Pro Wrestling Guerrilla shows in Cali. Because normally when you're under a Ring of Honor contract, it's like you are wrestling for Ring of Honor and really nobody else, bar a few shows here and there that will sign you off on, sort of thing. So I'm hoping something good comes from that. But then again, I'm afraid I've got some bad news. I'm only doing it because Owen brought it up in last week's film reviews, and I was like, bloody hell.
I had to.
There's no place. The only place for Wade Barrett is Dead Man Down.
That movie's awesome.
Yes, but the only place for him is Dead Man Down until he gets in another role.
Do you know what else is awesome?
Oh God, what's the shitty thing the Miz is in? Marine 72. I can't remember what it is.
That's too funny.
Well, I think that's our cue to take it home.
Yeah, that's given me enough time to then be able to go in 10 minutes and rant at the courier company for not delivering whatever the crap I'm supposed to be getting.
So basically, tune in to Raw Alternative. Tune in to Raw and find out what WWE is going to do to paint themselves out of the corner that they're in right now.
Yeah, because I don't think Raw Alternative is going to go 3 hours.
I
Then
doubt it.
Basically, you watch that, and then you watch the Popcast. Actually, I'm sort of wondering next week whether we could actually start on the hour, or as close as damn it, because normally when they do the UK shows, they don't normally go beyond the hour.
That is a good point.
Mainly because they realise, hold on, if we tape this, it's going to be like... If we tape it as it is, it's going to be 10:30, and most people over here is like, right, I'm bloody going to bed. You know, it's not like, you know, well, you even actually see it at the East Coast shows. Like, the kids aren't really there by the time it gets to 11 o'clock, because it's 11 o'clock in your bed. But
I had
just
read that CM Punk has strong advice for Samoa Joe, because Samoa Joe had tweeted a picture of WrestleMania sign, I guess, up in the Dallas Cowboys Stadium, AT&T Stadium, and he tweeted out, and CM Punk tweeted to him, he said, make sure you point at it. They like that a lot.
Hang on, no. We've got.
Oh, Punk.
CM Punk did quite a few other tweets that got deleted, which go like this.
Yes.
CM Punk with his honest feelings about Samoa Joe.
So that is going to end another edition of I guess you would call this the WWE Popcast, even though this is all about Seth Rollins.
Yeah,
once again,
general Popcast, you know, Taryn Terrell wants to get her boobs out for God. Yeah.
She's gonna go to Hawaii. Yeah,
there we go. It's back.
I wonder where Seth Rollins is going on rehab now.
Hawaii.
Hawaii.
But seriously, though, we hope that Seth Rollins makes a speedy recovery and that he returns 100% and doesn't rush himself too quickly. That's a problem nowadays, is rushing your body before it's ready to compete again. And
I think after doing what they did to Brian, they've realized we're not doing that anymore, son.
Right. So yeah, tune in on Raw Monday night. We could be interesting to see exactly who might show up. Will we see Brock Lesnar, John Cena? Will we see Daniel Bryan?
Iron Sheik.
Yeah. Colt Cabana.
Iron Sheik would just be like cursing up a storm if that happened.
Give him a live microphone and television time.
Alberto Del Rio.
I
like you. I like you, Del Rio. But that Zeb Coulter, that fat son of a bitch, motherfucker. Fuck him.
Speaking of Alberto Del Rio, real quick before we go home, I caught part of Raw on Monday night, and because I was extremely exhausted from 5 straight days of Halloween Horror Nights, so I was worn out and everything. I went back to my room, watched a little bit of Raw, and I see that they're rolling with Jack Swagger and Zeb Coulter and ADR again.
Oh, you had to bring that up. Did you hear the crowd reaction for Swagger?
I did not actually, because my television was kind of like, I can't say muted, but it was like lower than normal.
That wasn't the television, son. That wasn't the television.
Ooh.
I think half the people were going, shit, I need to get on Wikipedia. Who is this bastard?
Telling you, they missed the opportunity last month promoting him during Back to the Future Day.
Yeah.
They could have ran him versus Zack Ryder, and it would have been glorious, but no, they're not doing that.
That's too obvious. Also, you know, you can't give credit to the Parkinson Foundation in the same month as breast cancer.
Apparently not.
Because it's probably something as cynical as that. It's like, Susan J. Coleman's like, we're the only charity in October, bitches. You know, that Connor's cure. Screw that shit. It does. I wonder if CM Punk agrees.
As Hulk Hogan once said, it's all about Susan G. Coleman, brother.
Oh.
And then we know what happened with that man. We can't mention his name anymore.
God, he's not even in the video game.
But Booker T's probably in the video game, and he was like years ago, we coming for you.
Yeah, Harlem Heat are in the video game because
We're coming for you, Nickelodeon.
they're a 2K showcase match as Harlem Heat against the Outsiders.
We coming for you, Nickelodeon. Oh wow.
It's SpongeBob's promo.
That's great.
Oh.
So that's what we've got for another edition of the Raw Popcast, I guess you would say. The WWE Popcast Special Edition. So it was right that we actually would say something tonight. We'll be joining you guys 11:30 p.m. on Monday night for the regular WWE Raw Popcast. Aaron Ashley and myself talking all things WWE, preparing for Survivor Series in the next 2 weeks, and for what WWE has up their sleeve, if anything, at this point. This will affect WrestleMania plans as well.
Certainly with Rollins, yes, but I don't know whether even Rollins was in the title picture. All it means is the Triple H feud ain't going to happen, and everyone's going, I wanted to see that!
Yeah, I know. Oh, shit.
Triple H versus The Rock, WrestleMania 32.
Oh, my God.
Does this mean the statue is going to get a broken leg?
Oh, God.
Well, that's his legacy.
Oh, my God.
You know. All this stuff is now backfiring, you know. Oh, he's the boy of the company, you know. All of a sudden, the boy of the company is now injured because the company injured him, basically.
Ooh.
From their work schedule. Let's be honest.
Maybe.
Less of a maybe and more of a yes.
So, still curious to see what's going to happen on Raw Monday night, and we will be joining you at 11:30 p.m. talking about it. Ashley, you can catch every single week on the SNS Radio Network on the Whole Indie Show. What do you got this week, Ashley?
A whole load of stuff. We got. There wasn't no show last week, so there's a lot of stuff to review, a lot of news. A company in Mexico says that they couldn't overturn the decision because the commission wouldn't allow it because wrestling is not predetermined. Wrestling is
Interesting.
real in this promotion. I'll tell you all about that on this week's show. And tell you what a load of crap it is.
Also, Gaming with Ash will be returning as well.
I don't know what that's going to be about. Everything seems to be going on. You know, microtransactions here, bad review scores there, you know. Who God knows what I'm going to pick. You know, I'll probably choose something Oh, no, I think I've worked it out. Let's just say, you know, Activision will be the king of all idiots.
You also can check him out if you want to email him. It is sticks@snsradionetwork.com. And you can also check him out on Twitter at AshIsMyNameUK.
Indeed.
Aaron, on the other hand, can be found in numerous ways on social media.
Definitely. Like my fan page, Mr. Entertainment92 on Facebook, same handle for Instagram, Mr. ENT92 for Twitter and Periscope, and Mr. Entertainment on Vine and Wrestling Amino. And I will be doing social media coverage later on today, for the Toronto Raptors versus Orlando Magic basketball game, which I got invited to at last minute, so that'll be fun. So look for that, and I'll tape my 5th vlog from there. Check out my other vlogs on the Mr. Entertainment YouTube channel recently, from Holly Hornets 25. Memories, good memories. And thanks for your support. Numbers been record-breaking this week.
The big question is, though, are you on YouTube?
I am on YouTube, yeah. I got 2 channels on YouTube.
Oh, wait, we're doing this on YouTube. Shit, why did I ask?
It doesn't count. Doesn't count.
All right, so that's what we've got. As always, you can tweet me at @SirOwenDisney. Friend request me on Facebook at Owen Disney, and if you want to shoot me an email, talk wrestling, or if you're a wrestling or theme park podcast would like me to be a part of your show, you can email SirOwenDisney@gmail.com. If you are into subscription boxes and you would like to have some really sweet, authentic t-shirts from brands that you know, like from the worlds of television, movies, comic books, as well as beer companies, and all spots in between, you can check out tblocks.com. $9.99 a month, not the only $9.99 you can spend in every single month. And if you are curious about getting one of those subscriptions, use the promo code SirOwenDisney for 15% off your order. Also, check us out on MoviePilot.com. And a big shout out to all my friends at MoviePilot.com for being the reason I currently own WWE 2K16. And I'm currently playing that. So we'll be, if you have PlayStation 3, I will be playing online as soon as I get the gist of it. It's under my gamer tag, of course. I'm sure you're not surprised. Sir Owen Disney. Just look for Kevin Owens. That's how you can tell it's me. Because that's the avatar I chose, because it makes the most sense for obvious reasons. So that being said, join us on Monday, and tomorrow, or should I say later today, AJ's movie reviews will be tackling Spectre, the Peanuts movie, as well as Truth, Rock the Casbah, and yes, Dancing, it's on. It's going to be fun. Yeah. You're going to find out why I'm dreading that. Saturday, Aaron will not be joining us because he's not a part of this, but maybe someday he might be. This is one thing on Pop that is kind of between me, Ashley, and AJ. We're going to be doing our Academy Awards predictions for the month of October, and then at the end of this month, we'll be doing the one for November, and then we'll be caught up, and we can go every month after that.
And then it's Golden Globe reaction time.
Oh, God. Yeah, the award season is now starting. I cannot wait. Because the award season leads right to WrestleMania season. WrestleMania season leads to summer blockbuster. And sooner rather than later, 300 days later, Halloween Horror Nights 26. Hype!
Somebody's getting a bit too excited there.
No, I know, because it's...
Keep your hair on, mate. Keep your hair on. Holy hell.
I knew what he was like gonna lead into, like, you know, the season after this season, then comes Horror Night and said, "We don't get hype, we stay hype."
That's right. That's from Zack Ryder, not from that punk Mojo Rawley. Now,
He might have said the Olympics.
Yeah, no. If he said the Olympics, I would have been happy too. I love watching the Olympics.
what?
Summer Olympics. What? Nothing else on TV. Just watch it. Yeah.
God.
Oh shit.
Thank you. She completed it, so I didn't have to.
You're probably thinking, what the hell is that?
Exactly. So,
And his name is John Cena.
oh, yeah, no lie. And that being said, I want to thank you guys and girls out there for watching. Ashley, thank you for joining us yet again.
Woo.
Aaron, thank you for joining us yet again.
Woo! No, I was kidding. Thank you for having me again.
Woo! I'm Ric Flair. I'm doing the thing. I'm taking off my jacket. I'm throwing it down. I don't know why. Why should be in an old folks' home?
Looking forward to being on
Chewie, we're in a home.
Oh shit.
Anyway, that had to be said, obviously. So, in the meantime, in a world where there are a billion wrestling podcasts, we are very happy that you have chosen a Popcast. So, as always, thank you guys and girls out there for watching. Continue to watch the greatness on Pop for this week. And we had a really awesome versus coming up on Sunday. Shaken Not Stirred would be your cryptic comment. Gee, try to figure out which two we're putting together. And,
Jason Bourne.
Exactly. Thank you guys and girls up there for watching. And if you want to check out, I believe Aaron and myself are going to be doing the Coaster Casters podcast later tonight.
Oh.
I will be joining that late because I'll be coming back from the basketball game.
So that being said, thank you guys. Ball game. Thank you, JBL. So much so that Aaron has just been like blocked without even knowing it. So.
Uh-oh!
Have I been blocked? Who blocked me?
Shot clock violation, double dribble.
So that being said, thank you guys and girls out there for watching. And until tomorrow, boys and girls, that's all we got to say about that.
Now get the hell out.
You forgot dogs. You forgot dogs. Dogs listen to this as well. I mean, that's a harsh thing to say to Eva Marie, but, you know.